छोरी ने लट गाड़ दिया is what one would say, which she's created history, and let's hope she gets the gold, because she has already created history by entering the finals for the first woman Indian wrestler to enter the Olympic finals. You know, what's interesting in all of this, viewers, is she, in Rio 2016 and then in Tokyo the last time around in 2020, Vinesh Fogart was eliminated due to an injury. These two splitting images there, 2016, heartbreak, agony in Rio, agony in Tokyo, and 2024, the moment of pure ecstasy, a moment of pure ecstasy, a moment of pure retribution, a moment to shut up everyone who wrote her off. And, you know, this is the image, I would think, of Vinesh coming full circle there. You know, what's interesting, Harshad, is that, you know, let's get you this other image there. All right, and, you know, it explains itself, because this has been her journey. And like I said, when I said retribution for her, it's been exactly that. She had a point to prove. She's been on the streets, and one could actually summarize it from her trajectory, from protest to the pavement, and now to a podium finish. It clearly hasn't been easy for Vinesh Fogart. But Archit, you know, what's really interesting in all of this is, because if you go back, and I'm sure you must have read that piece, and I was watching her interview when she was eliminated in 2020 Tokyo, and she said, I don't know if I'm coming back. And she actually, you know, she actually went on to say that my body isn't broken, but I'm broken. And then to, you know, put yourself through this protest where everybody wrote, you know, completely wrote you off. Many said that her time was up. She's nearing 30. She's going to turn 30 in a few days, and she's created history.
You know, I want to just add something over there. The kind of turmoil that she's gone through, I think everyone sort of knows about it. But her single-mindedness over the last 12 months is something I want to highlight over here. Because time and time again, her fitness was being questioned. And there was a brief mention about her injury. The injury that she underwent after the Rio Olympics, that was the same injury that resurfaced last year as well. And exactly a year back in the month of August it was, when she had to undergo a surgery. Now from that point to be able to stage what she staged over here in Paris is phenomenal. Her recovery, when everyone had written her off on two counts. One was fitness, the other was age, and the other point also being with everything that was happening
the character
in the
assassination. You know, one must right now at this point of time accept the kind of character assassination the likes of Sakshi Malik and Vinesh went through. I just want to, you know, it's bittersweet, serendipity as such, one can say, is that Sakshi Malik was actually the commentator when Vinesh Fogart was fighting this bout. So, you know, it's...
and she was thrilled. She was thrilled because she knew her journey. Yes, you know, she knew her journey.
Because both of them have been sister in arms. You know, in the protest, sat by each other, constantly encouraging each other, wiping away each other's tears, and then coming together in such a strange coincidence that Sakshi Malik, bronze medalist Olympian, who was sitting beside Vinesh at that protest site in Jantar Mantar today, was in the commentary box when Vinesh created history on the mat. Let's listen in right now to all the reactions that are coming in. Listen in.
जिन्होंने प्रूव कर दिया कि जो उनके साथ हुआ था, बट उसने अपनी कहते होप थी, एक आशा थी, वो नहीं छोड़ी और उसने प्रूव किया कि लाइक यस आई कैन डू इट. आई थिंक उस दौरान मैं गया था, उनसे मेरी मुलाकात हुई थी, बात हुई थी और सब एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया था उन्होंने. लेकिन सी डिड इट. उन्होंने ट्रेनिंग जारी रखी, ट्रेनिंग में काम किया, लेकिन सब चीज़ें उन्होंने साइड करके कहते कि अपने जो उनका मेन एम है कि मैं को प्रूव करना ओलंपिक्स में, तो उसने आज प्रूव कर दिया कि लाइक यस सी डिड इट.
देखिए, जो पहली सी जो विनेश की अबाउट थी, जो जापान की लड़की थी, वो जोनिस की जो आज तक किसी जो टूर्नामेंट में नहीं आ रही है, लेकिन पहले मैंने बता दिया था जो इनमें जो विनेश इतना हरा लेगी तो जो गोल्ड मेडल की पक्की दावेदार है, और उसने विनेश ने उसको हराया. आज तक वो लड़की हारी नहीं थी, उन्होंने 80-90 अबाउट लड़ी इंटरनेशनल, लेकिन वो हारी नहीं है. और ये सिद्ध कर दिया विनेश ने, दावा कर दिया अभी गोल्ड मेडल का. और मुझे बड़ी खुशी है, मेरी बेटी जो कई साल जो इंतजार कर रहा था गोल्ड मेडल का, और अब की बार गोल्ड मेडल के ले आएगी, मुझे पूरा विश्वास है.
Harshit, it is definitely a sobering moment for many of us, especially if you look back at her journey and also self-reflection because, there was so much that she went through and to keep the politics aside, for now and to focus on this spectacular win. What can we expect? Do we know who she's squaring off against in the finals, Harshit?
I've not been able to have a look at my phone, but I think of what I've heard. I think it's the American opponent that she's going to be squaring off against in just about 24 hours from now. The expectation is that that match will take place past midnight tomorrow. In fact, Nikhil joining us from Paris. Nikhil, can you give us any insight about the final? Is it the American opponent I was alluding to that she will possibly be squaring off against?
Well, that's right. She is going to be playing Anna Hilbert. She is from the US of A, and she is going to be one other very formidable opponent in the final. So the best in the field, of course, was Susayaka, the wrestler from Japan that she's beaten at the start. But her next opponent is going to be the second best wrestler in the field, the American that I'm talking about. The American is a two-time silver medalist at the World Championship. And guess who she lost to? Susayaka, of course, the best in the field, but she was the second best. She's actually won 3 World Championship medals in her career. One, of course, coming in a different weight category, the 53-kilogram weight category. But unlike Vinish, who's actually dropped down from 53, a natural weight category, to 50, something that she had competed on earlier. Hilbert, on the other hand, has been competing in 50 more regularly. So she'll be more comfortable in that situation. As I said, once again, a tough opponent that she will meet in the final. I must tell you that after the bout was done, she walked across the mixed zone where she's supposed to talk to the media, but she did not stop. She didn't want to speak because she said, "I will only speak once I'm done with my final bout." What that tells you is her single moment is on just, guaranteeing herself a medal, but actually gunning for gold. And I think her focus is completely on that. I think she knows that the opponent is not going to be easy. USA, once again, has a very rich history in wrestling. If you look at the men's draw, especially the higher weight category, majority of the gold medals go to the USA contingent. In freestyle wrestling, they are a powerhouse as such. And it's an interesting story of Hilbert as well, the opponent that she'll be facing off against. She also took to wrestling because her brothers were involved in wrestling. So that's going to be her competition next up, the second best wrestler that was there in the category. Everyone had actually thought it'll be the American versus the Japanese in the final, but as it turns out, it's India versus USA.
Right. Since, Nikhil, you were there inside the stadium, and even though we saw it here on our tellies, but since you were inside, what was it that you could gauge as far as her body language is concerned? Iconic images that came from her first bout, but the champion in her, when she walked off, of course, there was tears in her eyes, but what is it that you could gauge from her body language? Because that often tells a story or two.
Well, in one word, I'd say confidence. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when she walked in. Very understated to begin with. Sometimes you see wrestlers because they get to listen to their favorite song when they come out. They can pick a track that they want. When she walked in, and sometimes because of that favorite track playing, they're all pumped up, bouncy while they're walking. Vinish, on the other hand, very calm, very composed, did not look like, she's going in for a semi-final. Came in there, casually did a few stretching exercises on the mat because she was the first one to walk out, and then just got down to business. Even when she was done, of course, there are emotions that she showed that because she had reached the medal game. But I think she showed more emotions in her first round bout because that she knew was going to be her toughest test. When she won that particular encounter, that's where her real emotions, where she started crying, lying down on the floor. But I think there is that determination that you can see, that resolve that you can see on her face, because you see her walking past when she's done with her bout, standing in that the gallery while they're heading back into their rest areas. You can see that there is this resolve, and that actually comes from all the criticism and the barbs that were directed at her in the last 1 year. I think that's really fueled her fire, and she's come here really meaning business, and that's exactly what you see from her body language. As I mentioned earlier, she not talking was a sign that for her the job is not done. I know the country may be celebrating now that another medal has come, medal number 4 for India here at Paris 2024. But in Vinicius' mind, no, the job is not done. Her eyes are definitely set on that goal.